Rift and Rift Bolt, just trying to smash damage through. Telling time for Mahara. He is queued up to have that Lotus Bloom resolve next turn, and that's the turn he's supposed to win, right?
That is. I wonder if Paulo hasn't jinxed himself here.
What do you mean?
Well, he's not a soccer fan. He does not follow football, as they call it in everywhere but the United States.
Right.
And yet he's wearing a Brazil football jersey.
Is that a football jersey?
Yes, it is. Perhaps a little.
You know, this is actually this has been a running feud between the Japanese and the Brazilians for a while. Like, they played in the World Cup. They actually played in the World Cup during Pro Tour Charleston. It was on. I remember being on the TV in the lounge, and all the Japanese players, they sort of knew. I mean, it's Brazil, and it's football, so they didn't give themselves a big chance. But in their mind, it was okay. They rationalized it, saying, "You guys can have football. We have magic."
Right. I remember the judges saying that. The Japanese judge.
And now here, Mahara's trying to put Paulo in his place. Go back to the football. This is our place. Top 8 Sunday in a Magic tournament. This is Japan's field.
Wow, look at the body language on Paulo.
Yeah, Paulo just looks defeated.
Well, he could smell Player of the Year. I mean, it's within his grasp.
Yeah, 3 wins away.
Tick, tick, tick.
Lotus
tick,
Bloom suspending
tick.
one more.
Rift.
All right, Whiff Bolt resolves. He points that at Mahara. That drops Mahara to 11.
So he's
got
gonna fall
6
to
damage
5
here. 5 points of burn is pretty tough.
Volcanic Hammer would do it.
Yeah. I heard you.
Lightning Helix Volcanic Hammer. I see.
Needs another land too, right? Suppose he got 3
see
cards in his hand.
A Marcelo Valencio Volcanico.
Oh, interesting. Paulo's got Honorable Passage in his hand.
But he's got to worry about Giga Drowse.
After sideboarding, do you still have Giga Drowse against Boros? Paulo should just...
Probably not.
Oh, Paulo's not even going to play the Volcanic Hammer. He's going to leave his opponent at 5.
Right.
Leave up the Honorable Passage.
Right, even if it's lethal. Even if it's a lethal Dragon Storm.
All right, well, there's ritual number 1. Lotus Bloom. 5, 6, 7, 8.
Just cast...
Oh, he just hard cast the dragon.
Oh, and it's not all aimed at
1 to a lion.
Paulo.
1 to a lion. 3 to Paulo. That's still lethal, right?
That's going to be lethal.
He Honorable Passages the 3 that's targeting him back at Mahara, and Mahara's tapped out, right?
Yes.
Wow.
And he's got the Helix in hand, so this game's over.
I think Paulo's got this one.
He's just going through it to make sure.
What happened?
Maybe he doesn't want to show him the Honorable Passage.
Why did he not pass
He's
it there? I don't get it. Oh, he's going to passage this damage. Block. Passage to 5. Wow, there's 5 damage smashed back at Mahara, and Paulo takes game 3.
Is that a slow roll from Paulo?
It was close to a slow roll. It's actually, I think, strategically correct, because if Mahara doesn't block, then he doesn't have to show him the Honorable Passage.
Right.
Right, because the 2 from the Nimbus... I know, the deck lists are public, so I can't imagine, Mahara... Of course Mahara knows there's Honorable Passage there. I mean, Paulo didn't want to remind him about the Honorable Passage. Didn't show it until he needed it.
That's reasonable.
But, I mean, realize, that's funny. Like, I would have just instinctively deflected the 3 targeting my head, right? That's the game. You untap and Helix. But...
You untap and Hammer.
Paulo realized he had no reason to.
Yeah.
Let's see here. That's funny.
And now the body language has changed.
Paulo looks. He's sitting up in his chair.
He's uncoiled.
He's leaning forward, shuffling. Yeah, that's a good word for it.
Because he was just clenched in and hunched over. So.
Who's number 10, by the way? He's got the Brazilian football jersey. Is that Pele?
Are you kidding me? I don't know.
Sorry. Thought you were insulting someone by not knowing who number 10 is. I'm sure someone will tell. It's probably been posted in the forums by now. Meanwhile, on table number 1, Gabriel Nassif has actually won the game.
Oh, my gosh.
I think Thiago scooped him up, realized that Game 1 had hit the point where it was, in fact, unwinnable. So Gabe Nassif takes a 1-0 lead in that match.
Pretty sure he could have done that about 15 minutes ago. I don't think he had any conceivable way to win that game.
No, we saw this game. And also, another update, in the match we were watching with Katsuhiro Mori and Nicholas Levette, Mori did indeed win that game. Those Urza's Factory, he had Urza's Factory at Cop Red, he had the defenses all set up, and in fact did finish him off, so that ties that match at 1 apiece. These are best 3 out of 5 matchups in the quarterfinals. Just to update you on everything, we've now got Rio Ogura leading Paulo Carvalho 2-0. Rio hoping to get through to the semifinals, where he would take on the winner of the match between Mori and Lovett. That's 1 apiece. Other side of the bracket, Gabriel Nassif leads Tiago Chan 1 game apiece. And then Gabe, assuming he holds on there, which everyone expects him to, would take on the winner of this match. Makihito Mahara versus Paulo Vitor Dama de Rosa. And Mahara up 2-1. Paulo looking a little better when he was down 0-2. He definitely had the sort of the losing slouch going on, but feeling a little better right now. You were mentioning the Player of the Year race. We're in the situation right now where Shota Yasuka is done. He finished 150-something, got the minimum 2 points. I believe they got him to like 61, I think is the number. And only 2 people can catch him. Paulo Vitor Dama de Rosa can catch him by winning Worlds and getting 25 points. Tiago Chan can catch him by winning Worlds and getting 25 points. 20 points, not enough for either guy. I actually think they both get to 60 with a second place.
Which, we give them some polite applause. 60 is just, can you imagine that? You get 60 points in this sort of shorter Pro Tour season than we've had the past couple of years. You get to 60 points and you don't win Player of the Year.
You get level 6. Level 6 is pretty nice.
It's virtually winning Player of the Year. It's almost the same economic rewards, with the exception of the posh luxury suite at every Pro Tour stop.
Right. Yeah. Technically, the only real benefit for Player of the Year from a financial point of view is the luxury suite hotel instead of just a free hotel room.
Sure.
But
the swagger.
Yeah, Player of the Year, exactly. Player of the Year is not about the money. Player of the Year is about the title.
Sure.
It's about the swagger. It's about history. It's about, people remembering you for the rest of your life as Player of the Year.
Think about the players who've been Player of the Year.
Not very many.
No, not very many. Bob.
Kai.
John.
Yeah.
Kai.
What is it with the 3-letter names?
Ole Rade's been Player of the Year.
Right. What Kenji Samura. What is it with the 3-letter names, by the way?
I don't know.
Bob,
by the way, before anyone
Kai,
posts
John,
that Gabe is spelled with 4 letters, Gabe is actually spelled G-A-B.
It's true. It's the way he spells it.
There's no E. The E is silent and invisible.
Are those the top 4 players in the history of the game?
Bob.
I've got Gabe in third. He could certainly. I think Bob might be number 4.
Bob is. Yes, I think so. When you especially when you rack up all of Bob's other titles, he has fewer top 8s. He has 4 top 8s, fewer than a lot of players, and certainly fewer than, say, Darwin's 8.
Sure. Meanwhile, Makihito Mahara and PVDDR are off to the races.
I was going to say, you did use the full name a couple times there.
I know. 5 names is just too many for most of the English-speaking world to deal with. PV, I've heard suggested. Apparently that's what some of his friends call him.
That's
DDR seems kind of cute.
DDR is very funny. PV is the name he uses in the forums on MagicTheGathering.com. He's posted in the forums of my column a couple times. I've interviewed him in the column. So,
what are those are...
Mahara has repealed a Savannah Lions and a Soltari Priest.
And now down comes the Priest, and back down comes the Savannah Lion. Mahara's got to feel good, though. 3 turns into this game, and he's only taken 1 point of damage.
Have you been surprised to see the storage lands?
Oh, he's taking 0 points. He's actually winning on life. PV is at 19. PV doesn't sound right. I don't know. It's not working for me.
Okay. Well, I like just Vitor.
Vitor?
Yeah. It sounds close to Victor, as in victorious.
Mm-hmm.
Victor Victorious could be kind of funny. No?
I don't think so.
Really?
We should get the forums to sound off on this. What's the right nickname?
We need a good nickname. We call him Pele.
Telling time from Mahara, and comes up with Lotus Bloom. Take him a couple turns, but he's bought those turns. Those early rewinds just saved him a ton of damage.
Repeals, yeah.
Sorry, repeals.
Turns, got him cards, take him closer to his win condition. What have you been surprised to see the storage lands? How did the storage lands play out in the Future League? Did they get a lot of play?
People messed around with them a little bit. I think they were at this point where it's like, maybe if the situation's just right. We figured they were certainly good enough for limited and in an interesting spot. I think the key decision, the key tweak was taking the tap off of the second ability.